This is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and this is part 2 of my video series about descending into an eating disorder, or blogging with an eating disorder. These are snippets from my old blog, Skinny and Liddy, that I was just looking at. I was like, oh, there are some really interesting assumptions here. So I'm sharing them with you guys with little listens to my past self, and maybe they will help you too. So what I'm going to show you here is after I had really started out with being dissatisfied with my body, then I started into dieting. The next thing is that this feeling that I had about food was really changing. So I just noticed that the way that I felt about food, I just felt obsessed about it. I'll read you the little snippet from the blog in a minute, but I didn't know how to fix it. I just assumed that I needed a vision for myself and to work toward that, which sometimes can help with things. But when you're kind of fighting your biology, when your body needs more food than it's getting, and you're constantly just trying to manipulate your body into not having enough food but still being all right with your relationship with food, that is a battle that you will probably not win. So I had this vision for myself, and I'll share that with you guys. So I was like, okay, well, what I need is a vision. I just need to figure out where I'm at now and where I want to go, and then just kind of work on that. So my current reality that I wrote was like the vulture style, right? So eating is a goal. I want to finish everything I have, make sure I get every last drop. I'm obsessed with getting all that is mine. I justify, I overeat, I feel gross, I pick at things and I keep picking in my mind. I know I should stop, but like a desperate vulture, I keep going. Every little bit, every piece, all that is mine. While I am chewing, I have my next piece ready, and I eat my current piece fast because I have to get in the next one. I am desperate. So look at the sorts of thoughts that I'm having about food. I didn't connect it at all with restricting calories. I just thought like, oh my goodness, I'm uncovering my demons of how terrible of a relationship I have with food. What I didn't realize at the time was that I was creating this relationship with food. Just look at some of these elements of thinking about food all the time, just being really panicked about it. Like if you starve an animal, including a human, this is the sort of relationship that comes to be, because we have mechanisms in our brain that really push for us to eat, and to eat fast and eat a lot if we're not getting enough, like if we're not eating adequately, eating enough throughout the day. So I knew that's where I was at right now. And then I think it's interesting, this vision of myself for what I wanted to create, and I'll break that down a little bit for you guys. So the goal was, I am a classy eater. And there's a picture of Audrey Hepburn here, because she's a beautiful person. She's wonderful, but she's thin. I think she has a naturally thin body type, but that was the main thing for me. Like, thin was classy, thin was good, thin was self-control. I had all of these sorts of thoughts. So I enjoy what I eat and only eat what I want. I get full easily. I can't finish it all. Box it up. I'll have it later. I'm full. I don't care a lot about my food. It's an experience that I enjoy. I'm hard to get with food. I'm relaxed. I graze. I enjoy. I move on. My fork rests between bites. I get distracted with conversation and thought. Oh, that's right. I was eating. I leave bits on my plate and rinse them away when I wash my dish. I taste, I sample, I stop. No wonder why I have such a slim figure. I sample, I wait. I love veggies. I'm picky with taste and turn up my nose at the cheap and the abundant. I seek the best for my mouth. So there are things here that are fine. In fact, a lot of the ways that are listed here are ways that I feel now about food because I simply have a fine relationship with food. Like, it's just a non-issue now. But it didn't come in the way that I thought that it would. A big part of it was just eating enough food. If you eat enough food, then your body starts screaming at you with sirens to eat more and eat fast. So this sort of like relaxed and forgetting about food, like nowadays, I'll get busy with something and I'll be like, I'll get bothered because I feel like the physical pangs of hunger, like I need to go eat something. And food is just kind of annoyance some days because I'm busy. But it used to be such an obsession. Like, so this vision was way out there for me. Like, I just did not feel this way at all. And I wanted it so badly. But notice why I wanted it. Like I have such a slim figure, no wonder why I do, because I don't eat that much. So this relationship with food that I'm describing is intertwined with just a better way to eat less. Do you see that? How those things are so connected? I want a better relationship with food. I want to forget about my food because that means I eat less of it. And if I eat less of it, it means that I can be thinner. And that was kind of the underlying current of everything. So, a lot of these things are fine in your relationship with food, but if they have that underlying, like, well, I'm doing everything to be thin, it's a hard battle, especially if your body isn't naturally that way. Like, there are lots of people who are naturally very slim. So for me, myself, like, I don't have an Audrey Hepburn figure. Like, genetically, I don't. If I manipulate my body into being thinner than kind of my set point, what's natural for me, then I go back to vulture mode. Like, my body isn't getting what it needs. So a lot of the times we think like, oh, well, I can change my relationship with food and then I can be thin, or I can just eat less and then I can be thin. You might for a minute, but when you fight against your biology, it fights back. And there are mechanisms in place to make sure you eat enough. And a lot of times that's how, the habit loop of an eating disorder starts. So just looking at this, I did have a vision for what I wanted to create, but I thought that I would get there by trying harder. And I thought I would, the result would be just me being as thin as I desperately wanted to be. So a little snippet into that. And for some more resources, if you would like to help your relationship with food, my free ebook at lydialifestyle.com is called How to Stop Binge Eating. Ta-da! And there's some great principles there. It's all available for you. There's also a link to our Facebook group called Beat the Binge, which is just so much fun. It is a cool place. If you guys just want some support and support from me, I post videos in there and all sorts of cool helps along your journey. So Lydia, the lifestyle coach, signing off. Mwah.